Hey guys, welcome back to another 10-minute time lapse. This is now my third 10-minute time lapse that I'm doing, and I really wanted to approach a question, probably one of the most common questions I get asked, and that is, what inspires me? So what has inspired me to do what I do today? And my style of artwork, I guess, at the same time as well, because that inspiration and style approach of my artwork is pretty much heavily linked. Now, I always start with a culture. Culture is so important, and I don't tend to focus on dark religious aspects too much, because that can get very hasty with people's opinions and, offending people even when I don't mean to. And that has happened before. I've dealt with it. It's fine, it happens. We learn from it and we keep moving. But essentially, culture is beautiful, and not just the Indian culture. There are so many cultures out there in the world that we can bring together and merge and find this sweet spot. Taking that Mughal style, when I first saw it, I was like, you know what, there needs to be some sort of upgrade to this. I felt like I could revision and reimagine that traditional beautiful style of artwork and turn it into something more modern. And so that has always been my kind of like starting point, where one of my first Maharanis, Sparrow, was like the OG Maharani, which really inspired the kind of stuff that I do now. And I hope that's kind of evident. I mean, like, if anyone does know that Maharani, she is the OG. She is the one that kind of like, really kicked off this kind of like niche Indian, heavily detailed art style that I have now, which I'm so grateful for, going through that in my journey as an independent artist, because sometimes it's not always easy to find that style that we want to stick to and what really defines us, as an artist. Like myself, as an independent artist, I used to do portraits of celebs and just random things that didn't feel like they had a story behind them or some sort of essence, that a real like substance to them. And now when I look back at those, I'm like, okay, cool. That's a part of my development as an artist. But now I really feel like I've found my form. My persona as an artist molds well with what I do today and what people know me for. I feel like is hopefully respectable, and I really like to evidently focus on females and showing that there's strength, individuality and flair in all females. So this is why I do the Maharanis, this is why I do make Maharajas as well. But essentially, because Mughal artwork was always depictions of, well, many of them paintings are depictions of females with not many clothes on serving men. That needs to change, so that's why I really like focus on females and different feelings and emotions that can be felt, which sometimes are very much excluded and just looked past, which isn't good. I mean, even then, I know mental health is a big ongoing issue that a lot of people are trying to approach, and if I can provide some, my take and my viewpoint on that, and help show that men understand as well, or that we're at least trying to, then that's special for me to be able to portray that. I always say, for someone to create something from their own life experience and convey it in a special way is it's something that we have that's so personal, and that we can really give back when we find someone or something or a quote or something that we are inspired by. We have the ability to give that back in our own way, because often, yes, it isn't easy, and often it can't be forced, but I feel like as long as it's organic and genuine and natural, that inspiration will really come to us as well. And Pinterest is a great place for inspiration. I know I find a lot of my inspiration for artworks from Pinterest, of all places. That is the artist hub. I think it's like a creative hub where people can find anything on Pinterest these days. I know I've found probably about 20 to 30 different references for a woman gazing through a window, so I could get the right perspective for a piece like this as well. And you can see I'm just getting into the shadows now. I really wanted to get the pose correct, and that's important because I really wanted to kind of show that she's thinking, so how her hand is on her face and resting. She seems unsure, uncertain. All these kind of emotions and feelings are probably what I'm portraying, but to someone else they might see something totally different. Believe highly in what you're capable of. We often undermine ourselves and may be undermined by others. However, do not let that define your ability and what you are able to do with any inspiration that you find. There's an audience for anything these days, and if you really truly believe that you have something to give, I think nothing can stop you putting it out there and inspiring others, which I hope, from my experience, I've been able to do for others as well. I think sometimes people struggle to find inspiration because they don't allow something to inspire them. Back when I used to do a specific style of artwork, when I look back at it now, I kind of think, what was the meaning behind this piece, and why did I do it? What made me want to do this piece of artwork, like a portrait of a rapper or a singer? And that comes down to me being inspired by music a lot of the time. If I am working on a specific piece, a lot of the time I am listening to music or watching some sort of movie that will just keep my mind occupied. That music can also give us some sort of direction in the creative process of what we are doing at that moment. And I believe that so truly. And even with this piece that you're seeing come to life now, there is emotion, there is a story to be told. People will remember you as an artist for what you did by breaking the rules and breaking the norm. I think that is something that is sometimes scary to do as well, because a lot of the time we are naturally afraid of judgment, and Instagram and social media is a very judgmental place. However, even in being an artist full time, when putting out artwork, consistency is key, and allowing yourself to be open to things that make us feel uncomfortable, because that becomes a challenge, and we are able to turn that uncomfortable feeling into something that we can express visually for others to understand, and maybe not understand but question. Still, that is art in itself. We pose a question, we pose some sort of ideology into someone's mind to be like, oh, okay, this actually exists or could exist. So I hope that helped. Inspiration is a big part of the creative process, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Please do like, comment and share. Again, thank you for so much love on the past 2 videos. I really appreciate it. It's me. Thank you very much. Peace out. Much love.